God of War is one of the greatest games ever created, with Ragnarok releasing in 2 weeks. Let's take a look back on 2018's Game of the Year. The game opens with Kratos cutting down a tree, aggressively. We also meet his son, okay, boy. The two of them take the tree back to their home, where Boy prepares his mother's, Faye, body for cremation. Kratos manages to make standing at a door the most foreboding thing ever before they carry out the cremation. Regardless of how much you know about God of War, it's hard not to already be immersed. Kratos tells Boy, whose actual name is Atreus, to go hunting.
Which way?
In the direction of deer.
Legendary response. They find a deer swiftly, but Atreus disobeys Kratos' command and winds up missing.
What are you doing? Do not be sorry. Be better.
So Atreus loses bow privileges, and they wind up encountering some enemies. The combat in this game feels great, even without any of the special moves or combos. Kratos' main weapon is the Leviathan axe, which essentially acts as for his hammer. They find the deer again, but this time Kratos guides Atreus, which takes me a minute to figure out. Yeah, I think you're better off without me. Atreus hits it and they put it out of its misery. For a brief moment, Kratos attempts to comfort his son, but stops. Also, a giant troll appears, so that kinda distracts them. There are two distinct types of players who play this game. Those who get up close and personal, and those who don't. After Kratos savagely annihilates the troll, Atreus slices the corpse with his knife. It is apparent that Kratos worries about Atreus following a similar path to him. They make their way back home, where Kratos gathers the ashes of Faye into a pouch. He tries to teach Atreus to control his anger, but they are interrupted by some strange noises and a knocking at the door. After hiding Atreus under the floor, Kratos opens the door to find a mysterious stranger. Honestly, he's not very intimidating at all. I mean, he throws a few punches and makes Kratos move his head, but Kratos retaliates and sends him flying. You would think that, holy sh**. Who the hell is this guy? He just hit him like a freaking baseball. I don't even know what is happening at this point. There we go. Okay, he's dead. Damn. 30 minutes into the game, and there is no freaking way. They are literally pushing the tectonic plates apart. Just die, please. Just die, Oh, is it actually over? Well, that's what. 30 minutes into the game? That's how you know it's gonna be a good one. Kratos promptly returns to Atreus and tells him they need to leave. They plan to spread Faye's ashes over the tallest mountain in all the realms. And what better path to follow than through the massive chasm formed 2 minutes ago? They eventually end up reaching a cliffside that grants a view over the whole forest. Several trees act as a sort of barrier around the forest, but there is a gap. They continue fighting more enemies and solving a few puzzles. A lot of this game revolves around that, which isn't a bad thing at all. However, it isn't exactly the most interesting thing to talk about, unless you want 90% of the video to be me failing to solve a puzzle I solved 4 years ago. Kratos and Atreus end up getting ambushed by humans, which leads to Atreus being forced to kill one, and it clearly has a significant impact on him. Fun fact, these are the only human enemies that ever appear in this game. They meet Brok, a blacksmith who happened to be one of the dwarves who formed the Leviathan axe. He is able to upgrade the axe and armor, but I kinda just upgrade the axe and ignore the armor. They see the mountain in the distance, and Kratos has another moment where he attempts to comfort his son, but once again holds back. If there's one thing that Atreus is better at than Kratos, it's reading. Atreus essentially acts as a translator and explainator for the lore of the game. Anyway, they kill another troll and proceed to hunt a boar, which seems immune to arrows at first. Atreus takes another shot on his own and manages to hit. Thus begins the sequence which quite possibly has the highest concentration of boys in the shortest time.
Boy!
It turns out that the boar belongs to this witch and is her friend. You know she is trustworthy because she lives under a tortoise. Or is it a turtle? She recognizes Kratos as a god and makes him pick some flowers. Savage. She does grant a quick passage to the lake, so it turned out to be a good thing. The Lake of Nine, the most important area of the game. Atreus reads the riddle, which essentially says to throw your weapons away. Kratos does, but the axe does not return, and... oh my god, what the frick have you done, Atreus? Is that the World Serpent? So yeah, that happened, and with the serpent emerging from the water, a giant temple is revealed, which Brok seems to quickly have made his way to, almost like he can teleport. The temple has a perfect pathway that leads them closer to the base of the mountain. They also meet Sindri, Brok's brother who is a germaphobe. Very important information to know, so remember that. He also acts as a blacksmith. Blocking the base of the mountain is an ogre, and no, I will not make a Shrek joke. Okay, maybe one.
What?
Killing it leads them to the mountain, which is blocked by some black fog that seems impassable.
The witch. Wish she was here. Bet she could get us past this.
My
My magic is used.
So now they must acquire the light of Alfheim. Fortunately, the witch takes them back to the temple, which turns out acts as a sort of middle ground to all the realms. Kratos fixes the temple through his sheer bulk. She gives them a Bifrost and sets an location for Alfheim. The arrival doesn't go as expected due to the light of Alfheim appearing to be dim. Also, she gets sucked back into her forest, leaving Kratos and Atreus stranded until they claim back the light. If you want me to summarize this part of the game in one word, bugs, which translates to elves in Norse or something. The light is the center of this massive temple. Throughout this entire sequence, they constantly see this dark elf who appears to be their leader. The entire place is ravaged by a war between the dark elves and the light elves. The two of them gain entrance to the temple, encountering several dark elves, and solve a variety of puzzles. Finally, they make it to the center, which turns out acts as a massive hive for the dark elves. Oh god. Kratos proceeds to chop the first thing he sees, which wakes them up. I don't have a problem with bugs, but if you do, good luck. Once again, for some reason I just didn't upgrade my armor at this point, so everything took a lot more effort to kill. Please end it, Kratos. Oh, thank god. With the hive destroyed, the light lights itself again, and Kratos walks into it. A sequence begins which spoils the entire game, but fortunately Atreus pulls Kratos out before too much is revealed. It turns out that he was gone for a long time, and Atreus managed to fight off an extremely large number of enemies by himself. The Bifrost is relit, and Kratos runs it along Atreus' bow to make it shoot light arrows. They light these blue crystals that are present throughout the entire world and create pathways. The two of them make their way back through the temple, though Atreus is clearly upset at Kratos for leaving him. Remember that war that was happening? Well, with the Dark Elves kind of dead, the Light Elves just win by default. The entire lake that they used to reach the temple is drained, so they have to head underneath. Oh, now it closes? That would have been nice. It's not that big of a deal, they just— oh, come on, you piece of trash. Die, no one likes you. Oh, for fuck. Look, the war is over. All of your friends are dead. What are you even fighting for at this point? It's over. It is finally over. Now, I might have summarized this part of the game in a few minutes, but let me tell you, it took me a little longer to actually beat. Atreus and Kratos get into an argument which ends up with Kratos shutting down Atreus and closing him off. Finally, they return to Midgard and make their way through the Black Fog. Remember how I said that the puzzles alone could account for 90% of this video? I actually meant that this one puzzle could, because it took me around 10 minutes to realize that when Atreus said look up, he wasn't talking about this bucket. He was talking about the second crystal needed to solve the puzzle. Oh my god. Anyway, they make their way further into the mountain, and it starts becoming increasingly apparent that I should upgrade my armor. But since there isn't really a blacksmith nearby, I just ran away. They end up reaching a massive room with a hook that looks as if it could reach the top. Atreus accidentally causes the hook to fall loose and the rock weighing it to drop down. They make their way around to the other side of this gate where they find a giant cart. Pushing it through allows for them to— is that another troll? I hate you with every fiber of my being. And wait, why does your name kind of look like Jane Foster? Anyway, with the cart they're able to attach it to the hook and make their way up. It doesn't lead them to the top, of course, but after making their way through some fire traps, they find an elevator. An enemy rush occurs, but they manage to take them out. And I guess that is the end of the game. Wait, is that a mother flippin' dragon? What is that name though? Heralaser? Be honest with me, did you just take the word laser, scramble it, and add a few extra letters to make it look like a name? Oh, there it goes. That was a short fight. Of course, it's not over. The dragon just decided to go and attack Sindri, who is up here for some reason. Atreus causes a distraction, and Kratos very kindly provides the dragon with free dental care. A boss fight ensues which consists of Kratos grabbing these crystals, throwing them at the dragon, and causing an explosion. These create an opening to do some damage. When the dragon's health is low enough, Kratos decides that he might as well give the dragon a makeover, and gives him a necklace. Or is that a neck piercing? Wait, that actually exists? With the dragon defeated, Sindri gives Atreus some mistletoe arrows as a reward. Of course, Kratos deserves something as well, so Sindri tells him to get the dragon's tooth. With it, Atreus unlocks shock arrows, something that made me literally never use light arrows again on my first playthrough. This allows for these crystals to be destroyed, unlocking new paths and chests. Like I have said, I had not changed my armor at all up to this point in the game. However, when enemies started one-shotting me and it started to feel like playing Dark Souls at level 1, I finally caved in. Yeah, that seems a little bit better. Kratos and Atreus are finally able to make their way to the summit, which looks like a spot people could use to make the thumbnail for a video about this game. It turns out that the stranger from the beginning of the game is here, who is confirmed to be Baldur, one of the sons of Odin. Magni and Modi are also here, but oh, that's who they are. Baldur is their half-uncle. They are talking to an unknown figure and eventually leave through a portal. That unknown figure is actually Mimir.
Smartest man alive, and I have the answer to your every question.
Why does the son of Odin hunt us?
He informs Kratos that the tallest mountain is actually not the one they are on, but is in fact Jotunheim. I think I got that right? Kratos, being so pissed off by this, chops off his head. I'm joking. Mimir offers to help them get there because he has nothing better to do, but they can only take his head. They plan to bring him back to the witch in order to revive him, and wait, does that mean I'm gonna have to make more videos on this game? Well, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to see more. I can guarantee that you will enjoy this video if you enjoyed this one, so be sure to check it out. Please.